Congresswoman Liz Cheney will be the final pro-impeachment Republican facing a Trump-backed primary challenger on Tuesday when Wyoming voters head to the polls. Cheney is trying to hold on to her seat in a state that Mr. Trump won in 2020 by the largest margin nationwide. The former president has now thrown his support behind her challenger, Harriet Hageman. She's a natural resources attorney and former Republican National Committee woman. A poll released by the University of Wyoming's Survey and Analysis Center finds 28% of GOP primary voters support incumbent candidate Cheney, while 57% are backing Hageman. Cheney released her final TV ad today.
The lie that the 2020 presidential election was stolen is insidious. It preys on those who love their country. It is a door Donald Trump opened to manipulate Americans to abandon their principles, to sacrifice their freedom, to justify violence, to ignore the rulings of our courts and the rule of law.
For more, let's bring in Victoria Eaves. She is a state politics reporter for the Casper Star-Tribune. Victoria, thanks so much for being with us. I know you're very busy, I'm sure, but what do you make of these latest poll numbers?
Yeah, these ones are interesting. This one was unique because it polled not just likely voters, it was a random poll. And so I think that's why you kind of see a larger margin between Cheney and Hageman in this latest poll, because not everyone is going to get out and vote who responded to this poll, but it's not far off from the other ones we've seen. So could be telling come Tuesday night.
And why is that? I mean, is it only Trump supporters who are putting their support behind Congresswoman Cheney's challenger, Harriet Hageman, or are there other issues driving the polls?
I think the main thing we have to remember is that Liz Cheney hasn't really been challenged seriously in the past. So I think that plays a big role. Yes, of course, Donald Trump and her opposition to Donald Trump is a big factor, but she hasn't faced a really formidable, really well-funded challenger in the past. And so I think that is almost on par with her anti-Trumpism.
But I guess to your point, how much of it is her opposition to the former president and more specifically her role on the January 6th Select Committee?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is. I think people in Wyoming, interestingly enough, they really oppose her sitting on the January 6th committee, but a lot of them don't watch the hearings. So just in principle, her being one of two Republicans and the vice chairwoman, no matter how she conducts herself, it's kind of a lose-lose situation for her. But absolutely, I mean, the first thing people say when you ask them why they're not voting for Liz Cheney is because either her impeachment vote, her continued opposition to the former president, or because of her seat on the January 6th committee.
And what else are you hearing from voters when they talk about this upcoming primary?
A lot of them say that the Trump endorsement doesn't have a lot to do with why they're voting for Harriet Hageman, in the same breath that they say they're not voting for Representative Cheney because of her opposition to Trump. So I think that's a common oxymoron that I've been seeing a lot just in man on the street reporting.
And I know this is something interesting that struck me. Some of Cheney's Democratic colleagues in the House have actually cut ads for her and are encouraging Democratic voters to switch their party affiliation. Do we really expect that to happen, or could this potentially backfire on the Congresswoman?
I think it can. I think that it might backfire and already has backfired in a lot of ways because the Hageman campaign has latched onto that. They've been doing a lot of messaging on that trend, but I think it's truly going to happen based on the conversations I've had and the polling that I've seen. Democrats are crossing over in unprecedented numbers than we've seen in recent history here.
And so if Liz Cheney loses this election come Tuesday, what is her political future in the state?
That's $1 million question. I think she still has the Cheney name, which always will hold water in Wyoming, I believe. But I mean, I can only speculate. Of course, we've heard presidential speculation, maybe vice presidential speculation. She has millions of dollars left in the bank in her congressional campaign fund, which she can use for a different race. So she has options.
So based on your reporting and the sources you've talked to, do you get the sense that she is positioning herself for a potential 2024 run?
So hard to say. I think that people here like to say that. How much truth there is to it, it's impossible to say until she announces. She put out an ad that is airing nationally. So if you want to take that as some sort of indication that she has higher political office aspirations, that could be one indication, but we don't know.
And then lastly, I know you said she will still have a lot of money in the bank. The Cheney name still carries some weight in the state. But what does a potential loss mean for her reputation? For so long, Cheney has almost become synonymous with the state of Wyoming, not just a congresswoman, but also her father as well. So does that political reputation get tarnished in any way, or does it still carry a lot of weight in the state, win or lose?
I think it still carries a lot of weight. She has, in a lot of ways, been an outsider for a while. She tried to challenge one of the longest sitting senators of all time, Mike Enzi, before she dropped out of the race. So from the moment she started to enter politics, she was a kind of an outsider. She was branded a carpetbagger from the beginning. So if she loses, I don't think it's going to harm the Cheney name and reputation and power much in Wyoming.
All right. Well, Victoria Eaves, as I mentioned at the top, I know you're very busy and will continue to be in these next couple of days leading up to the primary and after. We'll continue to follow your coverage and appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you so much.